gonna save you when the man comes down the way.
So good evening, guys, and welcome to a special edition of International Fan Zoom. And we're going to be covering the two main matches on Friday, which will be India versus Australia, which looks like a really good match. And then also South Africa versus England, and two brilliant matches with a lot of IPL Rajasthan Royals input. So that's why we're covering the games. And we've also got our guest today from Sunrisers Hyderabad. Sam, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Good. And Sam is from Karnataka and Sports RCB, but now has joined us. Thank you, Sam, for joining us. We have Ronak from Mumbai. Ronak, how are you doing?
Good. I'm doing well. Hope everyone's doing well too.
Good. And then we have our South African Royals fan, Grant. How is Cape Town, Grant?
Beautiful weather for a change. It's been raining quite often. Actually went past Newlands today just to check out the field, looking exquisite. I had to pop in to drop off some stuff. And
no fans allowed, I take it, for the match.
What's that?
No fans allowed in the stadium.
It's a bubble.
It's a bubble.
Yeah.
And all the way from Kolkata, we have Upyan. How are you doing, Upyan?
Glad to be here.
Brilliant. So, and again, this is although it's a Rajasthan Royals fan Zoom, we are covering the internationals because of our players, and hopefully we'll be getting something. So the first game, which will be on Friday morning, which is 3:40 a.m. at UK time. So whether I wake up to watch it will be one thing. Sam, so you're looking forward to this game, India versus Australia?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's been a while since we have seen our men in blue play, and hopefully they come out on top on Friday. And I think what will be very important is how Virat Kohli and his team play after a while. It will be difficult. They have been playing non-stop T20 cricket for now, so how they'll be able to adjust to that 50-over format, and beating Australia in Australia is always a difficult task. And one more thing I'm really excited to is how the combination of Indian team will be. If we still don't know if Hardik Pandya is bowling or not, I think that will depend heavily on Hardik Pandya whether he's bowling or not. I think the combination of the team will also rely on whether Hardik Pandya bowls or not. So really excited for this game, and we were divided into different IPL teams, and we were supporting different teams, and the time has come that we all together support Men in Blue, and hopefully they can win the series and start off by winning the one-day series.
Cool. And Ronak, what are you looking forward to in this series?
So obviously seeing our men back from the T20 format to the ODI format and playing together. I think all our players were playing in the IPL, and even a lot of Australians. I think most of that squad was playing the IPL. So all of them are at least fresh from cricket. It's how they gel up as a team and how they have the right combination to find the winning momentum. For me, the ODI team, as much as set, there are a few players that I'm looking forward to because it might be a do or die series for them. One is Shikhar Dhawan, because out of all the players, I think his position is the most unsettled, and there are a lot of other openers in the ranks who can easily take up the opening slot. So that is it's interesting to see whether he replicates his Delhi Capital form and puts up a good performance. Besides that, I think in the ODIs, it's fairly even, because I think even Australia has a very, very good squad, and all of them have played IPL. And I think at home, Aussies are a different league altogether. I mean, Aaron Finch in RCB and Aaron Finch in Australia are completely different batsmen altogether. So I think the Aussies will have their form, but I think recent history, especially in the last series and especially with the crowds back in Australia, I think that will support us more than it'll support the Aussies. So I think we have a slight edge in the ODIs, and yeah, looking forward to see a complete team performance.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. And again, that's one of the main things that I've been hearing. A lot of friends in Australia, because I lived in Australia, and most of them are from an Indian background, and it'll be interesting to see what the crowd makeup will be. Grant, as a neutral fan, in this match, what's the main things that you're looking forward to in the series, and more importantly, who are you supporting in this match, in this series?
You know, given the circumstances, I'll probably, let's face it, India's on top. I think that they're going to give Australia a hiding at the moment. I'm all about competition and about, with Virat being on top form. Hardik Pandya, as you said, is one of the, I won't say he's surpassed Shark Ellis, but he's one of the, great all-rounders in the world at the moment. But I think let's go for, India's is a remarkable team. They no doubt will probably win the series. That's just my give and take on it. But I reckon with Steve Smith's growth, could give them a bit of run of the money on that. But yeah, I think let me go for Australia, just for the banter and for the fun and for the competition.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. And again, Uphian, I know you're looking forward to Alan McDonald and Steve Smith versus RR Less India. What's your views on that?
Well, we start off with in the iconic Sydney cricket ground. I think it's going to be very important to see if Kuldeep Yadav makes a comeback in the side, because playing two wrist spinners was something which used to be a strategy that the Indian team was following rigorously, but now they've shifted to playing someone like a Jadeja because he can bat at the end. I think Hardik Pandya won't be offering any overs, so I think that makes us that just gives us 5 bowlers to go with. I'll be interested. It'll be interesting to see how KL Rahul also looks up to his number 5 position, considering the fact that he hasn't been really performing at a good strike rate for a long time. So it'll be interesting to see if he comes out to open or if he comes down at 5 and how he plays in the finishers role. The winter mornings in India, it's one of the charming things to just wake up early and see action going around. The Aussie cricket season is something which I always look forward to, even if India is not playing. It's just a joy for me to watch the game. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And we have Romit. Hi, Romit. And Romit is a Mumbai Indians fan, and he's joining us on the fan Zoom. Romit, what are you looking forward to in the match between India and Australia?
See, what I'm seeing that Australia will, for the first one day, I guess Australia will have a greater edge, because I feel since Indian players have just gone from the IPL and all, and whatever form I've seen of David Warner should be a big factor for Australia. Like for the first one day, I believe David Warner will score big, and considering our bowlers, Bumrah will be the one who will be helping us. So because Mohammad Shami and all, they can bowl at a good length, but I guess they won't be that successful and they can get hit for boundaries and all. So first one day I would consider that Australia will have a greater edge. But anyway, for the Indian batting lineup, I feel Rahul should come for opening, because since he has got such a good IPL season opening for Kings 11 Punjab, so I feel he should open for India too. And I guess Shikhar Dhawan should be the next opener. Mayank Agarwal, I feel might be rested because he can't play any position other than an opener. And I feel Jadeja and Hardik should be in the team. Hardik is good at the end, and Jadeja has the bowling and his fielding skills plus the batting. And for me, the 4 bowlers should be Bumrah, Shami, and I guess Yuzvendra Chahal should play. But I don't feel Kuldeep gets a place, because I feel Yuzi Chahal should go in for Kuldeep. And yeah, but for first one day, I feel Australia has the edge. But yeah, from second one day, we might have the series. But I feel Australia would win it 2-1.
Oh, cool. And again, one of the I got moving to you, and I know with your experience with Sunrisers. I'm looking at the captaincy situation, and I'm looking at Smith, Finch, and Warner. And out of the three captains, I rate Warner the highest as a captain. What's your views on that?
Definitely, I think Warner is a better captain when compared to Smith and Finch. But I think when he came back from the ban, I think he definitely wanted to be a part of the Australian team as a player and to score runs. I don't think the captaincy would be coming towards Warner anytime soon. He would just be wanting to play for Australia and score as many runs as possible. But yeah, tactically, he's a best captain and he'll always be there to help out Finch. Whenever Australia is in crunch situation, we also saw that in the World Cup. David Warner was there to help Aaron Finch and Steve Smith. But if you ask me, as a SRH fan, as a diehard David Warner fan, I would definitely want David Warner to be a captain at least of the one day and a T20 squad. So, but I don't think that will happen. But it might happen in the future. So let's look for it. What happens?
Oh, brilliant.
Also, you don't really need to be the captain to be the leader, right? So David Warner is someone who's always led with experience, so he's always there for the team.
Yes. And Grant, off to Grant.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Samruda. I think for David Warner will be remarkable. He's quite good match temperament. Not mostly all the time. He can do. He's got the short man syndrome.
Doing any sledging this series.
Yeah. I just think with Steve, Steve's got, look here, we all know Steve's got that baby face. He's got that little, character aspect, but he is dynamite in small packages at the end of the day. I think that from my angle, he's just a bit premature to be a captain. He's kind of got the same vibe as Hashim Amla, very low back, very chilled in that sense, very, very, very kind of an accommodating guy, but, those are the type of people you'll just kind of walk over. So he is firm to a degree, but I think Warner has that temperament to be like, that's how it should be done. Fit in or F off, that type of thing. The same with Graham Smith. He was one of the best captains. But Graham Smith calls a spade at the end of the day. If you don't like it, then he'll make a good politician in South Africa. That's what I think. But yeah, I think from a strategy angle, and it's all about growth and development. And I think he's done a really good job managing that. There's obviously been a few incidences in the past, like the sandpaper gate and all of that. But I think it's how do you grow as a character? We all got to make mistakes in life, and I think that's one of the things that contribute to. Look at Hansi Cronje. It's one of those things. So anyway, I don't want to get back into the negative aspects of the game, but I think going with you, Samruda, David Warner is definitely will make a great cap. Looking at the whole team as a whole, it's a definite fit for that. On that side.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Like, whose middle order is better? Like, Australia will have a better middle order, or India will have a better middle order this time?
I think India has a better middle order.
The thing is that the India's middle order is still in form, because you see the Australia middle order, it is Glenn Maxwell, Manas Labuschagne, Marcus Stoinis, and Alex Carey. So comparatively, we have Iyer, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, who are comparatively much in a better form than these three. So it's maybe 60-40 to India over there.
I think the bigger question that lies, I think the bigger question that lies is whether India is going to play Bumrah in all the matches in the limited overs, because they want to preserve him for the tests. I don't think Australia will be facing too much of Bumrah, but India might be facing a lot of Stark and Cummins. So that might be a very key issue, Yeah.
On this, I think what is an advantage. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
Yeah, so I think what ideally they would do is they would play the full strength in the ODIs, and then whatever test match players are there who are also picked up for the T20, they might give them a rest so that there's a small break in between, and they can also, I think the warm-up games are in line with the T20 games, so they might send out a Bumrah or a Mayank Agarwal for the warm-up games and have maybe Natarajan and Saini picked up for the T20 games. So I think ODIs will be full strength, and T20s is where they will give the star players a break.
Yeah, I agree with that. And again, the thing is, if you look at the the 9, 10. There's really, I think there's 10 places already booked for the ODI, and it's really the number 4 position, which is Sheraz Iyer. I think he will get the number 4 position. But then where do you play KL Rahul? And we've discussed that. Bowlers wise, I think they have to really play the 3 bowlers, which is Bumrah, Shami, and Saini. Saini is my 3rd bowler, and then obviously I would always take Yuzi ahead of Kuldeep. So even the bowling attack is quite settled. So it's really that one place. So Ronak, just moving to yourself there. Shubman Gill, yeah, obviously with no Rohit here, what's happening with Shubman Gill and even more Sanju Samson? What do you think is going to happen there?
I think the only way they'll get a chance is if India wins the first 2 matches, or if India loses the first 2 matches. Because I think the team is more or less settled, and I don't think so they will change the combination. Sanju Samson still can be maybe given a chance, but I think Manish Pandey is still there. I'm not sure if he's there for the ODI. Yeah, he's there.
He's there for the ODI as well.
Yeah, so I think in between these 2, I think they would give a preference to Manish Pandey because he's had a good track record in Australia. He scored that match-winning 100 against them, chasing 320. So I think Sanju Samson is maybe the last person who would be played, unfortunately, in this lineup. And I think Shubman Gill as well. It's difficult for him to get in a slot because Shikhar is in form, Mayank is in form, KL Rahul. I mean, although he's not opening, I think majorly they'll stick him to number 5 because if you see the New Zealand tour, which was the last tour that we played, he did really well at the number 5 spot, and I think they might continue there. So I don't see them coming in till the time or the result of the series is already decided.
Yeah. And again,
okay. What do you think? Okay.
Quickly, just the question is with Australia. Again, you look at the bowling attack and their bowling attack of Stark, Cummins, and probably Hazelwood. How would you compare that to the 3 pacers of Bumrah, Shami, and Saini?
I'll just like to start. I think we are discounting a bit on Deepak Chahar, because we don't have Bhuvaneshwar Kumar this year, and last time when Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was there, he used his swing to get someone like an Aaron Finch out, and that was pretty lethal. So I think the team will keep Deepak Chahar on the cards because he's a kind of a similar bowler. He can swing the ball really well, and he'll be useful in the opening spells. So I think that is also an important factor.
Just a quick one there. I think Shardul Thakkar is the 5th bowler, not Deepak. Deepak is in the T20 team.
Yeah,
is he? I think so. Yeah. So again, Shardul. That's why I said Shardul. I'm sure Shardul Thakkar is in the ODI, and Deepak Chahar is in the T20. So Deepak Chahar.
I'm sure Deepak Chahar would get a place in the T20. I think he'll start all 3 matches. I think Bumrah might not play the T20s, and I think as Upayan mentioned, when we don't have Bhuvi, I think he's an excellent replacement for us in the opening bowling area.
Yeah, cool. So back to Grant. Stark, Bumrah. That's a big 2 quick bowlers there for India and Australia. Who do you think will be the leading wicket taker out those 2?
I guess Mitchell Stark would be leading because Bumrah, every player in Australia would look out for him. Like they won't give wickets to Bumrah that easily. So whatever they'll do, they'll target the other bowlers and they'll just defend Bumrah for 30 or 40 runs in his 10 overs. So I guess Stark gets hit for runs, but he knows how to take wickets. Whereas Bumrah is much more defending bowler. He knows, but at least the batsmen would look out for him. Whereas Stark will get hit for runs, but he'll be taking the wickets. Like in the World Cup also, what we saw 2019, he was getting hit for runs, but he took 3 to 4 wickets in a match. Like, I guess Stark would be the leading wicket taker.
Cool. And Grant, just sorry, Shami and Cummins, that seems another good battle.
Shami
and Cummins. Yeah.
Definitely. Just going back to Bumrah, I think, he is in the test squad as well, right?
Yes, he'll be in the test squad as well, yeah.
Yeah, you see what I like about him is he's got enough energy. Mr. Elastic. At the end of the day, he's got lots of he's got that sharp pace. So not much energy. That's one of the great things that we've picked up from coaching, and he doesn't use a lot of energy contained to all the other bowlers that have these long run-ups and where injuries are caused. So that's kind of the take on it, that I think he'll do very well. They have to definitely use him in limited overs and both tests. I think he'll do quite well and prepared for where they're playing. Different to the Indian subcontinent.
Yeah. And Rohit Sharma, big discussion on Rohit Sharma. Do you think there's some friction between him and Virat, or what's the reason why Rohit isn't playing? That's the
I
big
think
question.
everyone's. Sorry, that was at me.
Yeah, that's you, Rohit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's BCCI is just giving no sort of information on what is happening with Rohit Sharma and Ishant Sharma. I don't think so. There's any friction between Rohit and Virat as such. I think it's just lack of communication coming in from the BCCI to actually mention what is happening with Rohit Sharma, especially considering the fact that he played the IPL final and it's a match
Yes,
for that as well.
He had a really good innings there.
Yeah, so it's
there's a running joke right now that the only Sharma who will deliver in January is Anushka Sharma.
Yeah, but Rohit Sharma will be missed because I think he's got a fabulous record against Australia. I think around 8 centuries and 8.5 centuries. He would definitely be an asset that would have worked. But I mean, we still have a very strong team, and I don't think so. One player's difference will change anything.
Cool. And again, I'm glad you mentioned Rohit Sharma's history, because I looked at the stats today, and I think he's the 4th highest Indian player to score the highest runs against Australia. So again, that's one of the reasons why we're there. So quickly ending on this game, Samrud, who's going to win the series?
Who's going to win the series? India definitely 2-1.
India 2-1. Grat?
Yeah.
For limited overs, I'm going to go for it's going to be a fight, hey?
One pick.
Guys, I'm just going to be the black sheep here. I'm going to go for Australia 2-1.
Cool. Upyan?
India 2-1 and Steve Smith the leading run scorer, please.
Ronak?
ODI is India 2-1, T20 is Australia 2-1.
Okay. Robert?
ODI is Australia 2-1, T20 is India 2-1.
Brilliant. So that's that match. The next big match, also on Friday, better time for me and South African time. England versus South Africa in Cape Town. We start with you, Sam. What are you looking forward to in this match?
I guess I'm pretty much excited for this game more than India versus Australia, simply because of the fact that now, since as a Rajasthan Royals fans, I want to ask you this question. Last time when Josh Buttler scored heavily for Rajasthan Royals, he went out to open for England. Will Ben Stokes come out and open for England? Now they have Ben Stokes, Josh Buttler, Johnny Bairstow, Jason Roy, David Malan, Owen Morgan. Where are you going to fit everyone into the playing 11 now? That will be a very really interesting question. I'm so excited to know what the playing 11 of England will be in this.
Yes, and you really answered the questions that I was going to ask, because you look at that batting lineup and say you've got your man Bairstow. So is Bairstow going to open, or is Butler going to open? And for us, is Stokes going to open? Because that seems to
yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. But I
There's
think
no Andrew McDonald in the English team, so I don't think there would be any changes there.
And Grant, I've been looking through the South Africans, and they've got a team. Obviously, we don't know the players as good, but there only seems to be like Miller, Faf, De Kock, and Van der Dussen, I think, will be the main batsmen. And I really find their batting a bit weak. What's your views on that?
Yeah, we've got a really good player called Carl Verheyen, plays for the Cape Cobras, one of the up-and-coming players, brilliant wicketkeeper. I reckon that, if Quinton de Kock wasn't the captain, he would be a brilliant keeper. But, I think he's quite an all-rounder type of player. Funny enough, I played club cricket with Dylan Verheyen, Carl's brother, for Edgemead Cricket Club down here. So there's a lot of banter been going on around that. But he's one of those dynamites in small packages, and plays very well under pressure. I'll definitely give him that. I think it's quite interesting not to see Is Peter Milan in the squad?
Yes.
Janneman's
No.
brother.
No, Yaneman
No, it's
Manan.
not.
Only
Janneman
Janneman.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's happening with Peter because Peter, plays for Durbanville up the road from us. But, I think Peter's more of a technical player. He's more a test player. So Janneman is more of a slogger and hitter. So I think he'll do quite well. Really good batsman. Also sponsored by Kookaburra. And obviously we all know the Delhi Capitals, guys. Our rivals. So Anrik Nokia, played phenomenally well. Bowled the fastest ball in the IPL over 150 Ks or 146. Then Reza Hendricks. It's a bit of a touch and go there. Great bowler, but Buren's quite good. Obviously, looking forward to see how Junior Dlala fits out. He made a call to the squad. And then we've got Piet van Biljon, who's not bad at all. So, yeah, as I said, it's going to be quite a interesting. There's a lot of kind of newbies in this one, but it'll be great to see how it plays out. Obviously, with regards to the transformation policies with Cricket South Africa, that's kind of the mandate that they're following. But it's good to Kashif Miraj, great player. I think he'll do a bit of damage there, but it's going to be a real touch and go on this one. Really sad not to see AB in this. There was a bit of talk with him making a comeback, but Mr. 360 ain't happening this time. So, and then I think John Smuts has got quite a knock on himself. Very firm player, very consistent player, but it's going to be very hard to read between the lines on that. And Andile needs to stop bowling wides. That's the only thing. But other than that, if he can just keep his line length and consistency on that, he bowls from some good swingers on from time to time. But, we can't rely on Kagiso all the time. There's just one injury that can spark up and all of that. So,
now that's really interesting about the injuries. And from Ronak, from Rajasthan Royals perspective, who are you looking forward to watching most?
All of them. I mean, all three of them. Even Miller to say, because I didn't get a game or he faced in the IPL. So I'm looking forward to see the batting positions of the England players of Rajasthan Royals. Where does Stokes bat? Where does Butler bat? Unfortunately, Archer is not part of the ODI squad, so that is something that we'll miss out. But I think I'm very confident that South Africa will do well because if you compare the bowling lineups, South Africa's bowling lineup is better than England's lineup at the moment, considering they have Rabada, Nokia, Ngidi, all three in pretty good form as compared to maybe a Mark Wood or a Wokes who haven't done that well, or even a Tom Curran, for example. So in terms of matchups, I think South Africa's bowling is better. It's just interesting to see whether they can control the famed England batting lineup or not. I mean, one way or the another, it's going to be a high-scoring series, and I think it's going to be more fun to watch England, South Africa as a viewer than maybe India, Australia, I think.
Cool. And we are running out of time, guys. It's been a brilliant chat. So we've got these two big games happening on Friday. Cricket community is all back together. So for the T20 series, who's going to win, England or South Africa?
I'm backing England to win it.
Backing England.
Johnny Bairstow, leading run scorer.
South Africa or
I'll
England?
go with England
What
too.
you going for?
Yeah, I'll go with England too.
You go for England. Rod?
I'm going with South Africa for T20, 2-1, and ODI England.
ODI England. And Ronak?
South Africa for both series.
Cool. So it looks like that. I'm going to go. My choices are going to be India to win the ODI, Australia to win the T20, England to win both T20 and ODI versus South Africa. So we will see what happens. And thank you again for joining us. It's been brilliant talking to you guys. Brilliant.
One question from my side, Surinder. Have you guys heard of 3T cricket before?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
it's a new format that's being introduced globally. It's in current discussions at the moment, and we It was actually founded by
Played.
Paul Harris in South Africa, and we obviously did a test experiment on it earlier this year, which included 3 teams. So it's kind of interchangeable formats with 3 teams interchanging with one another. You've got 36 and 90 overs that partake in each other. So you've got 36 and then 18 divided by 2, and then you've got 45, 45. So check out 3tcricket.com. It's quite an interesting concept, really making cricket fun. You know, T20 obviously is the hype of where cricket is at. But I think in nowadays where grassroots development is taking place, something new and different is coming to light by adding a new ingredient to the shape of things. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how this plays out to the subcontinent.
No, and again, that's what we're looking at. In the UK, we've got the 100 coming up, and this kind of innovation is really, really excellent.
Really cool.
It keeps your mind ticking on the game, and the game has to develop for the audiences. So that's brilliant to hear. And again, as I say, we are running out of time, but thank you for you guys for all your time. We will definitely be covering the post results. So this will be out on our social media channels, and it will also be on the Rajasthan World Fans Forum. And guys, take care, God bless, stay safe.
Then there's Sri Lanka and South Africa in January. That's going to be interesting.
Cool, we'll cover that too. Anyway, guys, I will catch you guys later. Take care, buddies. Thank you very much.